Well, welcome everybody to Elevation Call. It's the after party from Thrive in 25. The weekend was amazing, and I was really looking forward to this call because a lot of us were in different places. And I was with Linda Painter. She hosted a group here in Northwest Arkansas. And then Jean and Lorena were hosting a group in St. Louis, and we were having that conversation. Debbie Ray was having a all day drop in at her house, which was beautiful. We saw her samples. Steve and Jenny were on the road between Austin and Pensacola. And so and then Carlita, you were with us in our group. And then I know Susan and a whole group of people in Evansville were celebrating. And we had this, I've never seen anything quite like it before, but the Thrive in 25 Zoom I thought was just really first class. And that's kind of the theme for the year. And so I wanted to kind of start the call and say, this is really, I want to hear from you guys. I on this call, I really want to hear just kind of the major takeaways, what you learned over the 3-hour event. But I wanted us to kind of keep the main thing as well. And nothing happens in this business without massive action. And it's really important. I love the community that we have, but I want to just kind of recognize leaderboard just because this is halfway through the month. We're going to start with leaderboard. And then I want to pause because one of the people who was on the leaderboard last week, the first person from the US that was on the leaderboard is Carlita. And so I want every single time we get together, I want one person to share their story, and because Carlita's story has an updated portion of that. So let me just really quickly, Carlita, so far in the month, she's number 7 in the US. Number 6, Debbie Ray from Nashville, super proud of her. Wendy Berman from California is number 5. Lisa Howler, number 2 in the US. And Daniel Zapata, who's in multiple countries, is number 1. So Carlita, I would love for you to tell us. We have the privilege of getting to work with Carlita. She lives literally like 7 minutes from me, but I didn't know her. And she was introduced to us by Barbara Durkee, who's one of our team members in Subiaco, Arkansas. So Carlita, why Zalise for you? Tell us just shortly about your Zalise story.
Well, my Zali story was when I went on a little weekend girls getaway with Barbara. Excuse me, guys, I've been a little sick. Um, so she introduced me to Zalise on that trip. I was going to introduce her to Costco, so that was my wonderful thing. And I said, "Oh, I better take something before I go to Costco because my feet will be killing me. I have arthritis in my hips and my back and my feet from being a nurse for 26 years." So she's like, "Hey, here, try my Zalise." And I'm like, "What?" So she gave me Zalise, and that was the beginning of a lifelong journey for me. She gave me 3 days worth of Glow and Shield. And after 3 days, I realized, hey, my pain's better. Hey, I'm not having a headache every day. I mean, I've got a lot of issues. I'm old. So, but anyway, that was my introduction to it. And I have not missed a day since. Love the products. They've made me able to do things I haven't been able to do for years. And I love sharing it with other people because I feel like now as a nurse that I have something to share that can help people and encourage people to feel better and take better care of themselves. And I've not felt that way in a long time in nursing.
Well, and you didn't stop there, Carlita. You didn't just say, you know what, I'm feeling better, so I'm just going to feel better. You started
Right.
thinking about who you could help, and you introduced someone to me a few weeks ago, Tamara.
Three
So
weeks.
tell us a little bit about her condition and why you reached out to her.
Okay. So I've made the decision after several months that I wanted to turn this not only into a lifelong health journey, but also into a business for me. Um, in the short term, I hope to retire from the VA in 2 years when I turn 62. I don't know if I would love to do it sooner. We'll just have to see how that journey goes because I will be out of there the moment I'm able to. But Tamara and I worked together many, many years ago at the Med Center in Little Rock at the Trauma Center. And she was a paramedic and she also worked in the ER. We got to be very close and worked closely together. She began to have a lot of health problems about the last, probably 6, 7 years. and having a lot of issues with her blood pressure, being very labile, go very high, go very low. Got to the point where eventually she had to be on disability because they were just not being able to control it. Well, this has gone on for years, and she's been on a medication regimen. But she shared with me, I started sharing with her about Zalish just in a little conversation, and she shared with me that um, something very personal, and I did ask her permission before I share this with you guys, but she's had a lot of sleep issues. She has anxiety and sleep and all the stuff with her heart and blood pressure. And she had become addicted to Ambien and was taking absolutely, to me, what sounds like would be a lethal dose of Ambien, just trying to sleep. She's unable to go to sleep. She can't stay asleep when she goes to sleep. Just that was one of her major issues. And so we talked about that. And then I involved Lisa, and we also talked to her about starting Vibe. I sent her some little samples. I love Jenny Todd's little tiny bottles that I can send people little samples with, because a lot of the people I know don't live here where we live. So I sent her some samples, and she had sent me a message back after trying it for like 3 days in a row that she's like, where can I get a gallon jug of all of this stuff? So I was so happy to hear that it was helping her, because she's such a precious person. So I got Lisa involved, and we did a little more involved in her health history, and got her signed up as a wholesale customer. So she's now taking the Dream, the R&R, and the Vibe. And it seems to be helping her really well. I checked in on her earlier today or yesterday. I can't remember exactly, but I'll read to you what she wrote to me. She said, I went to the cardiologist the 9th, and he was really happy with how I'm doing and doesn't want to see me for 6 months. She's been going on a monthly basis. Okay. Um, I'm beyond happy, or she was beyond happy at how I'm doing. Was shocked that I haven't been taking any Ambien since December. She was glad to refill her martazepine. I'm not sure exactly what that is, martazepine. But and then she has a couple of natural supplements. I don't remember exactly what they were that she takes. Anyway, she said, I got home and she asked me if I wanted to see her again in 3 months or 4, and I chose to come back in 3. But she's just excited beyond belief that she doesn't have to go to the cardiologist every month, and that she can go for several months, and that she's actually sleeping. She's actually sleeping. For her is a lot, probably probably 5 to 6 hours a night now, where she was going on maybe 2 hours, but it's really making a difference. And we've talked about her adjusting some dosages. She says she's still having trouble like getting sleepy, but I think she was confused about the R&R and the Dream and which one to use for what purpose. And so she understands that now, but she's really happy and is so thankful that we've reached out to her.
That is so exciting, Carlita. I just want to just give you a high five and just recognize that you are making a difference, not just in your own whole health, but in other people's whole health. And I happened to be on the phone, and I was speechless to hear her talk about the Ambien story and just how horrific that was. And Steve and Jenny Todd, I'm sure they hear this on a daily basis, but being able to help one person free themselves from pharmaceutical slavery is a very beautiful thing. And so thank you for sharing it with me, and thank you for sharing it with all of us. It just encourages us to never get tired reaching people. And so thank you for that, Carlita, and congratulations on everybody who's on the leaderboard. You guys, we've got half the month to go. And hopefully you guys have a whole new vision of what this company is messaging. What is our positioning with a new vision, wellness, connection, and purpose. Also a vision of things to come. They talked about new products. They talked about new systems, new technology, new training. And so lots of things to come. And this is really where I would love to hear what you guys, just a number one takeaway, anything that you learned that you really, really loved.
Lisa, this isn't anything about product. What I really, really loved about Saturday was the feeling that we all got. I've always had it, but how wonderful a company this is. And these people have our back, and all they're interested in is making things better for us. Shannon Tolan is incredible. The work that she puts in, she's just incredible. But that's what I've learned. I just reiterated to me what a wonderful, wonderful company that we have. We have great products, but without great people, this wouldn't be as fun as it is. This company, the people behind this company are amazing. That's what I took away from it. I just loved it. So that's all. She's frozen. Yeah.
Awesome, Jenny. Thank you. Yeah, Susan.
I have something kind of along the same line in a way, because after, I worked in corporate America for 38 years. And in that, you can, it's a big deal. There can be one really great executive, but the company sucks because all the rest of the executives suck. But one of the things that caught my attention so much was the comfortableness between I'll call it executive team that at Zalise. They were comfortable with each other, they teased with each other, but yet they didn't. Sometimes you can tease in a putting down way. That's not the way it was at all. It was a respectful, lifting tease, And so I was just really, it's not like we had a new product to really focus on, but it's, you had a new feel for the company and everything else. And so that was really cool. The whole thing had an uplifting feel. And I felt like a lot of it was because of their, there's a word I can't come up with, but like their charisma with each other.
Awesome. And so just, I thought Luis really did a good job with just almost like being an on-screen personality that kind of played with everybody in a good way. He kind of pokes fun at himself sometimes, but I agree. It was entertaining. And Linda Painter, I think, is on. We were with Linda, and Linda, there was just a room full of people. I didn't even know who they were. And everyone really stayed very riveted by, just the fast pace, that all the moving parts, all very organized, which was phenomenal. And just for, if anybody's on this call that wasn't really attending, when we talk about there wasn't a new product launched, what it was is it was the global launch of Amalaki powder. And it's the first time in the history of the company really that we've been able to launch one product in all 32 countries. And so it didn't feel like a new product launch to us because we've had the Amalaki powder in the United States, but in all the other countries it was new. And so we have a couple of new tools, the Dr. Suha video, which I want to talk about, but the version that we have in our back office is about 2.5 minutes. It's a lucky flyer that is there to support as well. So thank you for that, Susan. Any other takeaways?
I just feel there's a new energy to the whole thing, to everybody, to the corporate team. You just have a good energy feeling, happy feeling, and everybody gets along. And as you said, kids around. Luis is so easy to talk to. He's just got a great personality. You can tell he really cares about everybody, including his corporate team. But and Bo's great to listen to. It's just very well put together. Shannon does an awesome job, as Jenny said. She's just always there. And if you need her, she's there. Even if it's on a Sunday, I just happen to email her. She'll get back with me. And I'm not expecting her to email me back that day. I'm just getting it in. So maybe Monday she'll see it, but she'll respond usually within an hour. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
So she's very helpful.
So
Just impressed with the whole corporate team, really.
that's
And the energy. I
a
feel the
very
energy.
first class act for sure. Thank you for that. And then Mary Barton says, really, 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 3 reallys. Love Steve's patient. I was distracted with work, but looking forward to get to watch and listen to the whole program again. Yeah, Steve and Todd did a great job on the endocannabinoid system. Super grateful that Steve is our partner so that I didn't have to do it myself, just saying. So kudos to Dr. Todd and his co-pilot, Jenny, Jenny, I could see your head just a little bit in the presentation. Any other takeaways?
You know, Lisa, we were looking at the technology part of it, and it seems to me like they're always looking to make things easier for us. I mean, they're always checking it out. It may not always be easier, but they're always looking, at other ways to make it better for us. So going along with everybody else, corporate's got our backs.
I
And
would
Jean,
also like-
thanks.
I'm
Go ahead,
sorry.
Jenny.
I'd like to make a comment. We were driving down the road, and when Bo came on and just mentioned the word encourager award, I looked over at Steve immediately before he said another word, and I said, Lisa's getting that one. So deserving. No one else even comes close at all. You're just amazing, Lisa, and very, very deserving of that award. So,
Kudos.
Yes.
yeah.
Kudos.
Well,
Yeah.
you guys, thank you, Jenny, for that. And I was completely not only speechless, but I couldn't even unblur myself with my background to show the room. So I felt like I was, but I think what I really, if I could have had my sense of what I would have said is that it's the love of you guys. It's the love of our team just mirrored back to you. Because I feel that you guys have walked me through some really, really dark times, especially over the last 9 months. Not that I could really say a whole lot about that, but I was holding on to you guys for a hope that I would ever be able to do this again full time. And so feeling like y'all have been the encourager for us. And thank you for saying that, Jenny. But that's just one thing that I absolutely love about this platform. Having now seen some of the hollowness of corporate America and the lack of a soul, this business has a soul, and you guys are part of that soul. And I do believe that part of our mission in the world is just to connect with other people who need what we have. And sometimes that's community, sometimes that's health and wellness. But the connection and purpose to me is what is the most important part of whole health. And so I love that we are now having these great graphics. One of the things that I loved, and you haven't seen the whole thing yet, guys, is Jenny and Steve have seen it, but the whole health presentation, the new one that we're going to get to use it looks nothing like the old presentation, the opportunity presentation. It is so full of whole health and the connection, the wellness, and the purpose. And it's going to be very easy for us to communicate that, interact with people. And so all of that, just encouragement is part of whole health. And you guys have encouraged us so beautifully. So thank you for that, Jenny. And getting back to Eugene, you were saying something as well.
Oh, actually, I was.
Gene Workmeister?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Yeah, actually, I was going to say with the encouraging award, Laurie and I were, chit-chatting back and forth as it was going through the presentation, and we're like, it sounds like Jenny Todd. Yes, because she's always complimenting folks. She's always raising them up. She always does that. And with that, no, but Lisa's always over there too, and Lisa's encouraging. She's helping, and we're like, who is it? Between the two of you guys, we got it made.
Hey man, I've gone to the Jenny Todd School of Encouragement. I'm still a student. Look at her. She's not accepting it.
You want me to do a self-talk meeting here in the next couple of weeks?
Hey, Steve, you know what? I'm glad you brought that up because I actually brought this with me. You all
There
see
you go.
this?
Yeah, that's 101.
So the first elevation of February. We've asked Steve and Jenny to start working. Part of whole health is how we speak to ourselves. And negative self-talk and how to change it is the book that they recommended. It's Jenny calls it a 60-minute read. And just so you guys know, if you hosted an event, I'm putting your copy in the mail on Tuesday. So Debbie and Jean, Linda already got hers. Susan Everett, yours is coming without a QR code, Susan. So it's not intended to cause harm. But this is a book that we're recommending that we all invest in. And just so Dr. Todd can be ready for working with us with our self-talk and big goals that we have for 25. So thank you for the reminder on that, Steve. And thank you guys for serving our team like that.
Sure.
Awesome. Any other thoughts? Just anyone wants to share anything about our Thrive in 25 before I kind of give you my final thoughts?
One thing I can tell everybody on the call that there is some awesome
I was grateful for
technology
Zoom.
coming down the
Yeah.
line. Did you get
Oh,
that?
can you tell us more?
No, but let me tell you, it's game changer type of technology. It's not just another product. So, and the leaders here will have to sort of, when we first launched CBD, and how we had to learn it, because you didn't know anything
Yeah.
about it. This product you'll have to learn.
Whoa.
But
Did y'all
it's
hear that?
a great technology.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you for that, Steve Todd. That's more than they told us on the Zoom.
Yeah.
Look at
Well,
Jenny.
it's a really
she's
good thing. So,
okay. Linda
Jenny's
says, can't
biting her
wait.
tongue.
Jenny's biting her
What's me
tongue.
biting her tongue, I think. I hope you're going to teach us, Dr. Todd.
I will. But
Okay.
it's really a different angle on it's another angle just on health and wellness. I'm doing
Jenny's trying to signal.
our
Oh my
Zeli's
gosh.
family here. We got to, just talk.
Yeah. Well, we're going to reserve the right. As soon as it's announced, we're coming back onto this platform and we're going to hear more. So I'm super excited about that. And thank you for that little teaser.
Do they have a date yet? When they're going to announce it?
But they didn't take exact dates.
Okay. But we do know it's going to be in this year.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good enough for me. You guys write it down. We got something new technology coming down the pipe. Hearing on the first go round is when Dr. Suha talked about adaptogenic. Did anyone catch that word? Adaptogenic. He says when you consume it, it creates inner intelligence and it knows how to calibrate to your unique needs and physiology. I think that's the best definition of an adaptogen that I have ever heard. And so I think that, Amalaki is one of those products that is, for us, hasn't really been first position, but it is in Latin America. And so I think it's important for us just to be well-versed in Amalaki to give people another option of an ancient plant herb, if you will, that has a very long history of healing inside and outside the body. So just so you guys know, bronze is $2.99. It's 5 bags. Anyone can purchase that not as an upgrade, but just as an extra product. So it's 50 BV and 60. It turns out to be $60 per bag. And the sponsor, as well as the enroller, I think it's strip volume for that. But also there's $60 in fast start bonus. So silver's $4.99, 9 bags, 100 BV, but it's $55.44 per stick and $100 in fast start bonus. And then the gold, $9.99, 20 bags, which turns out to be about $49 each stick. So it's a great value on Amalaki, which he says creates spiritual well-being, love, and compassion. So all those whole health things. And so I thought that it was really a very powerful training on Amalaki. And I also thought it was a really good social media training. How many of you guys remember Camilo's training on social media? A little bit challenging because of the language barrier. And yet what I heard him say was, if you're posting on social media, stories are your best friends, and you need to post 3 times a day on your story. And so today I did that, just so you know. I was really good about posting on my story, which, is just 24 hours. And then he said at least twice a week. Unless you guys heard something different. So twice a week in terms of just posting on your Instagram, Facebook, whatever your platform is that you're using. And he was the number one enroller in the entire world. So I think it's important to listen to some of the lessons that these, top performers have taught us. So did anybody else really take anything away from the social media training? Any of the other trainings that we heard?
I enjoyed all the information on the back office.
And
Since
who's this?
Judy,
Judy. Okay, because I've got you down as 041564.
that's me.
Judy, that's your code.
That's my code. I didn't put it there. That's the way it showed up.
So Judy, I would love to hear your thoughts, just because you came on board, just very recently. So what was your takeaway from it?
Well, I just like all the unity and all the kindness and no pressure. I've
Mm.
sold different products. I'm just not a very good salesperson. I sold Young Living essential oils. I sold Norwex for a couple of years, and years ago I sold Stanley, and I'm just not cut out to be a salesperson. But this company is very motivating, and
Mm.
I've met some really special people so far. So I want to hang in there as long as you'll have me.
Hey, we're thrilled that you're on board. What kind of attracted you to Zalise, other than Jean and Lorena being amazing leaders?
You and your husband,
Oh,
and
really?
Mary, and oh, the lady from yesterday. What is her name? I can't think of her name.
Rhonda.
Rhonda. That's it. Rhonda.
There's
Yeah.
Rhonda.
And,
There she is right there. Hey,
Yeah.
Rhonda.
I always want to call her Rosemary. I don't know why. I have a friend named Rosemary, and she favors her. So I'll have to remember that song. Help me, Rhonda. Help me,
Yes,
Rhonda.
yes.
That's awesome, Judy. Well, did it seem like taking like a drink of water from a fire hose, or do you think it was a good amount of information?
It was a lot of information. Um, I think it's wonderful how everybody is recognized for their efforts. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're so glad that you were on, and I heard you got some little bundt cakes.
Oh, sure did. They were delicious. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess y'all didn't save us any. Look at Jean is like,
And we afterwards we had a really good visit with them, and we enjoyed ourselves a lot.
gotcha. Oh, good deal. I think that was the fun. We had so much fun. Linda Painter, now that you're on your phone, can you tell us a little takeaway? Because you hosted a huge group, and I didn't even know about like 4 people there. Look, Linda's on her. Let's see, Linda, can you unmute on your phone?
Okay, can you hear me?
I can now.
All right. Um, it was great. The guests that came were unexpected. It was just a person that did come to the class before, and she decided to bring her 3 friends when I told them, hey, we're having a health and wellness class. How about you come? And so now they're very much interested. They thought it was going to be like what we usually have, a home presentation, but I told them, well, it was a New Year's launch, so that's why they weren't able to stay very long, but they're interested in coming to a class. So and I think listening to all the professionals in the it really did increase their confidence in our products. Dr. Todd, and the veterinarians, because everybody has pets, And then sometimes people will take their pets more important than their own selves. So it was great. I was very happy with the turnout.
Linda, you did a beautiful job, you and Randall, of hosting. And, one of the things that I really appreciate about just Linda and our local team is that, I had two prospects that I didn't know very well. Like one I'd never seen before. And the team literally comes together. And when you can get somebody to come to an event like that, it creates an unintended consequence of the energy and the professionalism and the feeling that this is a global movement
Uh-huh.
impacts those prospects, both of them enrolled, like
Good.
2 out of 2, so that was because of you guys, Linda, and just the positive spirit. And Linda had her ECS poster there, and just the food, the products, just the love in the room. It was a great event. So Randall was on his best behavior.
I have a question. I have
Yes,
something to
Rhonda,
say.
let's hear it.
Lewis's teaching, I think it was Lewis that said it. Discipline is a skill, and that just kind of really stuck with me. And it's like a new lesson, for me to take away to like apply to other areas of my life, even. So it was because then he said to the learn it, then you teach it, you build it. It's on my notes, but I can't see them. But it was just, I never thought of it that way. It was one of those, I think, life changing kind of things, because now you can apply it now that you've brought your mind open to something new. So that was cool. That's all I wanted to say.
It was No, Rhonda, that's a really good point. And when you're like out of college or high school or whatever, like when do you get a chance to learn this kind of thing?
Right.
And so that's what I love about this platform is really the self-development, just the ahas, the things like that you might not read the right book
Right.
or meet the right person to learn those things. And I mean, Bo's training at the end was I just thought was profound. Like he, the level and the character and the professionalism of the group that feeds into us every single week is a 180 from kind of the worst of the bygone era. And
Yeah.
I feel like, we are all really going to start exploding in 25 with a combination of new things and new ways of thinking and new ways of thinking about health. It's really, discipline is a skill. I mean, like that's a great, great concept.
Right.
One of the takeaways, honestly, I think all of us really need to have the discipline to make a new list. That's the way it all starts, because the action of each one reach one, if we could each just reach one person this month and do that again every single month, not only do you start seeing your check grow, but then you have the situations like with Carlita that shared about Tamara, when you have consistently pulling people in, helping them find the right product combination, then you just cannot handle sometimes the positive. And let me just share an example of that. Hal has a relative who is a financial advisor here in Farmington, Arkansas, and he reached out to us in July because he was having some back pain, and he was not afraid of trying CBD. So literally, I recommended Vibe and topical. He started feeling a little bit better. And then I don't know if you've ever had the feeling before, like sometimes you're afraid to reach back to people that you haven't heard from because they're like, oh, I meant to call you and cancel my auto ship or something like that. So I didn't really try to reach back to him once I found that he was doing okay on the product. And so months went by and he finally called me back, and I was like, oh no. because that 30 mil Vibe, sometimes people get backed up on it. And he called to tell me that he really does like it, and that he, wasn't sure how to use his points. So we got him some Ultra Ice. And he called me this weekend, and I was like, oh, I hope he's still liking his product. And so it's been since July since he's been using Vibe topical. And I found out he loves the Ultra Ice. He was using that, just he loves the taste of it. And he got some free Shield from the company because his auto ship was large enough when they were kind of giving the Shield bags out. Used all of that, and he had about 277 points. So we talked about what was next, and then he let me know that he has had some cardiac procedures and had a pacemaker, and he was on a lot of cardiovascular medications. And he goes, here's the best news of all. My cardiologist has taken me off of all of my medications now.
Wow.
And so he has like his calcium channel blocker and his blood thinner and all the nasty, like heavy medications that they give somebody that's, had cardiac procedures. They gave him a completely clean bill of health. And he is
Amazing.
really pain free. He has really, really good energy. And here's the best part. His wife has been sick for 2 weeks, and his secretary has pneumonia and has had fever for a bunch a day. So I'm like, that's the kind of stuff that you're like, who else is on this? It's not like we're going to just pounce on people, but we have to start the conversation. And the only way to track it is if you create your list and you discipline yourself. Everyone that you talk to, everyone that you think of, it goes on your list. And our goal is from that whole list to find one person to bring in a month. Can we do that, Rhonda?
Yes, I'm working on it.
Okay, girl, that's all that counts, as long as it's in your mind and in your heart. And Linda, I see that you said something in the chat. Bo's input let new people know that they are not on their own. Absolutely. And neither are you guys. Like, I don't know. Oh, Marcia Smith is on. Marcia, everyone wants to know who you're rooting for right now. She's probably watching the
Buffalo
game.
Bills.
Marcia.
Is that what you're talking about? Football?
Yes.
I do. I know.
I was listening to the game and working on my laptop, and all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh, it's 8:15.
Well, Marcia, now that you're
Sorry.
on, I want to shout out to you. You were the only, lone person in Buffalo. Just you piped into the whole Zoom training on Saturday, and then you have kept me busy with a few three-way phone calls. And just I'm really proud of what you're doing. I mean, Marcia had a major proposal to a nurse practitioner to get our product line in their office. And she had a friend today that she had lunch with, and she had me lined up to do a three-way phone call. So making your list is one part of it, but don't do this. And that's where you reach to me. You reach to somebody that is, if I'm not your sponsor, you guys have us as an all. I will tell you that in this industry, people that seem kind of crazy. And so when you bring another person in and you have the discipline to mute yourself and let someone else talk, it's sometimes that other voice, just like bringing somebody to a launch event that has multiple people and you hear all these different, it's the other voices that really help people to understand it. And so the best in this business always use validation partners. Doing that with me, even though you're. Well, listen, guys, anybody else have comments or questions? Next Sunday in February, and Dr. Todd is going to be helping us with self-talk. So I showed you guys the book that we would all like you to have, and Jenny has already posted this on Team Unlimited. So you definitely want to pick that up, and you've got a few weeks to kind of get a head start on it. But this business does not happen without changing what is programmed right here. And how we talk to ourselves is a huge part of that. We want to be our best version of us, and we want to be our own best friend and the best version of us. So how we talk to ourselves is something that really, all success starts with that.
Hey, Lisa, I would like to add something, and I don't know if we're going to be able to do it or not, but just as soon as that presentation was over Saturday, somebody in the business texted us and said, hey, do you have a recording of just the video that Steve and Lisa did? And then I wanted the same thing about, Dr. Blau, because I have somebody that, I'm getting with. And so I'm hoping that we can have Zalish just make little clips rather than the whole, Thrive for 25 presentation. But if we can just have those little bitty clips, I'm going to ask Zalish for that, because I think that is a wonderful, wonderful tool to have. So I don't know if he'll do it, but we're going to ask for it.
I've already
that's
asked Lisa, I want the portion that she and Dr. Todd did just for
Right.
teaching and training. I loved it.
But
You know what
it
else
just to be able to send it,
Yeah.
it's just so easy
Mhm.
to just send it. They all were
Yes.
great. All of them were great.
Well, what I really like too in the Thrive event is that they pulled in Sue Haas's video. Like they played a few. Did y'all notice the video on the front end, the new video, the whole health video? That was another video that I want. So the short video segments, we can use those when we do our own opportunity presentations. It's 100% duplicatable. And so I've got that written down for sure, Jenny. That's a great ask. And
Right.
because they're short, the one on connection with purpose was great. So I think you could really make a beautiful presentation with all your friends, right? Those other voices that we need when we share this with people, because we're not the only ones on, in
Right.
this company. And that shows a lot of strength. So great point, Jenny. Dr. Todd, anything else that you want us to do to prepare for next elevation call?
Let's see. We need to try to read the book. It's real simple and it's 60-minute read, and it gives you the baseline of Dr. Shad's work. And I'll go over the basics again in a presentation about self-talk, and then give you some more hints and break it down to why it's so effective, and also how to use it, how to use self-talk regularly. So there's what I'll do is send you the slide deck, or I can do it and share it and click it. You know what I mean? Do that kind of thing. So it's a presentation I've done before, and it's a lot of fun, but it's also very powerful for people.
Well, we appreciate you being willing to do that for us, Dr. Todd,
sure.
and thank you for being available to our team. And so y'all, your homework assignment is go reach one person. And the way the company defines that is bronze, silver, or gold. So you get a medal and an undisclosed number of things that they're not saying right now, but they are rewarding everyone who reaches one. And somebody reached you. And so we have an obligation to pay this forward in a way that we reach out to other people. And I've spent the last 20 years learning how to do that in a professional way. So let us help you with that. I learn every day what to do and what not to do. Have y'all ever had an annoying salesperson that has talked to you? Okay, like where you're like, I don't want to be that person. But have you ever had somebody that you like maybe represented a product or a service that you were very impressed with? Maybe even somebody that waited on your table, or that maybe, you went to a clothing store and they were really, really good. And so that's what I want you to think about is who do you admire in the world of influencing others' health? And that's what you want to be. And that's what you can be, because there's a professional way of doing this business that is changing lives out there. So I believe in each one of you guys. I love this team, and I love that we really help each other. locking arms, just like being on this call instead of watching the Buffalo Bills win. That's a great example, Marcia. That's a true sacrifice. You notice Hal's not in the room. Well, anyway, guys, I'm excited. I think that we're on to something with this company. I think 25 is going to be the best year ever. And we're going to bring along people with us that are that need us. And so keep your eyes open, keep your ears open, listen for them, and let us help you to bring them onto our team. Much love to you guys. Thank you for being on. Go enjoy the rest of your evening. And we look forward to seeing you guys on the Freedom Call for the recap tomorrow night.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
And
Thank
Bye,
you, Lisa.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
and the Bills.
Yeah.
He said that Hal wasn't in the